Do you know, beloved brothers and sisters, that in 1938, in the build-up to the Second World War, that the Jews were the most economically, politically, and socially powerful people in Germany? I mean, Jews were rocking and rolling. They were the power brokers in Germany. Very specific reason I mentioned this. That was one of Hitler's gripes, by the way, because one of his arguments was that these people control too much of the national wealth and prestige of Germany. He didn't like the fact that they were Jews running things in Germany. But the point is that they were running things. They were a highly read people. You know, they were people who were very literate. They were people who had economic and political and social clout. But beloved brothers and sisters, according to the history, over 6 million of them went into gas chambers. Now that's 6 million people who had power behind them. Here you've got a nation called England. They refer to it as the UK, the United Kingdom. And in the United Kingdom they say that there are approximately 57 to 58 million Caucasians. 58 million Europeans or Caucasians. They say that you and I number between 1 and 3 million. Out of 58 million, we are between 1 and 3 million. Do you realize what type of a drop in the ocean you're dealing with here? You realize what a small little group of people we are here? And that 1 to 3 million, that's not talking about Afro-Caribbean, so-called. That's talking about Chinese, Asians, everybody together. But when you go into the Chinese community, when you go to Chinatown, do they treat you like your brother and sister? You go into the Chinaman's shop, he's watching you. Oh yeah. A little whisper, you see them start walking on, watch you. They ain't watching nobody else. Black man's coming. That mean black man just enter the shop. The Asian man is where we go to get ackee and saltfish. And everything else that we need. Because we don't supply our own needs. We go to the Asian man, you give him your money in his hand, he puts your change on the counter. Disrespecting you even though you're spending your money with him. He takes all your money. You see, the Asians don't live in those shops that they have on the main roads there. When at the end of the evening they get in their Benz. Oh yeah, with the turban and everything. While you're there mocking him, talking about cha-cha man. He say, yeah, that's right, I am cha-cha. Hey, you want some clothes? He'll sell you Joe Bloggs jeans. Anything you need, he's got it for you. You want coconut oil? Coconut oil. You want ackee and saltfish? Here, I have it. Whatever you want, man. He'll even talk with your accent to make you happy. But come the end of the evening, he gets in his Benz and he's going into the outskirts of the city to live in that big, nice yard. Where when you try and walk past there, you see the Asians looking at, what are you doing here? I'm saying, beloved, that the Jews were powerful and they were destroyed. You have all of these other groups who have been destroyed of late and are being destroyed in Chechnya and other places. You and I, in England, a small minority in England, no political power. I want you to hear me well. We have no political power, no political representation. We have no economic power or wealth. Where's the black man's factories? Where's the black man's industries? Where's what is it that we're producing that we can point to with pride and say to our children, say the black man things there? Nothing. No social strength or influence. So they can kill a Stephen Lawrence and then laugh in our face and bring the 5 suspects to the court and promise the suspect you won't even be prosecuted. We'll just play a game here. And it don't matter how much Neville and Doreen cry, we will continue to laugh. Because it's mockery in your face. Because you and I yet don't appreciate that we have been disenfranchised, that we have been disempowered, that nobody is ever going to give us power, nobody is ever going to help us unless and until you and I recognize that we have to do for ourselves or suffer the consequences. The emphasis being on suffer. Beloved brothers and sisters, I'm not here tonight to depress you. Believe me, I'm not a depressed man. See this uniform? I feel very proud. You're looking at a man who don't get out of his bed of a daytime and, well, how am I going to make it to the... Now, you ain't looking at that kind of man. You're looking at a man who gets up highly motivated. You're looking at a man with 5 children. And I'm looking to have some more. Because, yeah, I am, sisters. Sister looked at her friend and said, well, what about the woman? Think about her, man. Beloved brothers and sisters, the future for black people, believe me, is extremely bright.
Go ahead, black man. Teach.
But the future is only bright if you and I can recognize from now what must be done.
That's right.
If we continue living in this fantasy that somebody has put us in. Let me deal with the fantasy a little bit now. What is this fantasy? Look, man, and I'm not going to go into no big time details because we ain't got the time. And I will advertise the true history of slavery that some of you may have been listening to a minute ago on CD. Pick it up before you leave here tonight, because that goes more into depth about slavery. But let me just say this. Look, beloved, how can a man who will come into Africa, capture black people, chain us up, bring us out, destroy us as a human reality? I mean, brothers and sisters, you have no concept of what was done to us.
Go ahead.
What's your name today? Your name is Smith, Jones, Robinson, Green, Brown. Do you know Fish? I mean, they call Mr. Hogg, Mr. Wilkinson, Sword. Do you know that these are not your names? Do you know when a man and a woman gets married, they exchange names? She takes his name, she puts away maiden name, she takes his surname. Do you know why? Because it denotes possession. It means you belong to me and I belong to you. Do you know why the slave master gave us his name? Because he believes that he owns us. Not only does he believe that, but he has owned us. Utterly. Now you and I are told that, well, Jamaica was made independent in 1962. Various countries in Africa, I think Nigeria got their independence in 61. And we can go on. There's so many different countries that are so-called independent now, and black people are independent, and black people are up and free. And you really think so? You see, beloved brothers and sisters, do you know that this man never brought us on a westerly course into the Western Hemisphere to make us his brother? He brought us here to be burden bearers for him, to be horses and mules, to build his kingdom. And he had no intention of you turning around one day and talking about, I'm equal. Treat me with some respect, white man. Can't you see I'm the black man? He's looking at you like, where you come from? Because you ain't supposed to be talking nothing like that. You are supposed to know your place. And your place is to continue to serve him. See, he's very happy with you, brother. If you will go on the television. See, I used to be on the television. You know why you don't see me on the TV? Because he wants me to get on TV, grab my crutch, talk some filth, tell some dirty little jokes, and he will give me a whole heap of money for that. But I am not a slave. I'm a black man. I'm a black man. if you and I will be other than ourselves, he's very happy with you. If you box for him and wrap yourself up in the Union Jack, he's happy with you. But God forbid if you lose, you be a Canadian the next day in the papers. See, Frank Bruno is not boxing no more. So now Laura, the white girl, she is now employed the most expensive divorce lawyer in this country. The same one that Lady Diana used to get, I think, 12 million out of Charles. That's the same one on Laura's case. And you saw it come out in the press a few months ago that Frank Bruno is a batterer because they're getting ready to dump him because he served his purpose. O.J. Simpson served his purpose. And if you let another man make you, that man can break you. Tyson served his purpose. We all thought Tyson was indestructible. Now they've got him up like a little chump. And they deliberately humiliate him in the public. See them putting handcuffs on him, treating him like a little boy. At the same time that Tyson was on trial for rape, William Kennedy Smith was on trial for rape. And the evidence against William Kennedy Smith was overwhelming. He got not guilty, Tyson got guilty. And 6 years. Michael Jackson. Do you know what the judge told the police when they were going to arrest Michael Jackson? Now I don't know if you know who Michael Jackson is. But if you don't, let me remind you. Because whether you like Michael Jackson or not, Michael Jackson is, if not the, then one of the most powerful performers on this planet. When Michael Jackson flies into a country, the country stops. The police come out, the army come out, they escort him to the stage. The children, the people, they go mad. Women faint. I mean, they do. Michael Jackson, they lose it. Boys faint, much less. But when they decided, and by the way, Michael Jackson had an interview with Oprah Winfrey. And on that interview, Michael Jackson said, look man, I suffer from a skin problem. I'm not trying to make myself into a white man. I'm a proud black man. This was his words. I don't know whether it's true or not. I'm just telling you what Michael said. Michael said, I love black people. I'm a black man. It's a skin problem that I have, which has caused this lightening of my skin, but I'm a black man. No sooner did Michael Jackson make that statement than you heard that Michael Jackson was up on charges or accusations of child molestation. The judge said to Michael Jackson, said to the police who were being sent to his home, they said if he resists arrest, strip him naked. This is written in the arrest warrant. Look man, let me tell you something. Do you know that if the police go to arrest Bruce Willis tomorrow, they're not going to treat him like? Do you know that if the police, do you know when they went to arrest the pervert Gary Glitter, you want to be in my gang, my gang, my gang? Yeah. They didn't treat him like that. That's right. Do you know that Paul Gadd, Gary Glitter, was out on bail? Oh yeah. But with Michael Jackson, they told the police to strip Michael Jackson naked. They told him to photograph his genitals. They did that to Michael Jackson. They utterly humiliated him. Regardless of the fact that Michael ain't given thousands to charity. It runs into the millions, if not billions, that he's given already to charities all over this earth. And mostly, by the way, not black children, but white children. That's who Michael's been benefiting, thinking that white people love him. But when you fall out of favor with them and they've made you, they will break you. And I'm saying, beloved, that you and I really need to appreciate that when they brought us on a westerly course and destroyed us in slavery, they had no intention of then turning around and making you their brother. Anything you see the Caucasian doing where it looks like he's favoring black people, it's only a maneuver. This man is a warrior. I want to tell you something about white people tonight that you may not know, you may not appreciate. Visit London sometimes. You should go down and look at Trafalgar Square. You should go around some of these cities. Go and look in Nottingham and look at some of the statues and look what the statues say on them. And look who they have on these big plinths and these statues and these horses and these heroic figures, these heroes of bygone ages. They're all warriors, all soldiers for Britain. Britannia rules the waves. That's the mentality. They are warriors. They are conquerors. They boasted that the sun would never set on the British Empire. They went all throughout the earth and they conquered 2/3 of the known world. And they are a people who are warlike. And they are very strategic in their war making. They not only are very good with arms and weapons, they are best strategists when it comes to getting you to sit down and let's talk about it. And they'll keep you talking for 100 years while you go to hell and your people go to hell. That's the kind of people you're dealing with. So when you think, oh yeah, well, black people have made all this progress. What progress? You think slavery is over. It ain't ended yet. And something that black people don't appreciate is that right now they're planning to recolonize Africa.
That's right, black man.
Right now they're moving black people out of the Caribbean and they're moving in. Oh yeah.
That's right.
The Caucasians taking over. You and I.
That's right.
You and I running after blonde hair. Hear me well. You and I running after blue contact lenses. Yeah, that's what we're doing as black people. Once upon a time, you see black people, the most color, we'd wear like a red, gold, and green on our head. We'd wear something cultural, you know, with like a dashiki or something like that. Now you see black people wearing Union Jack now. We've lost it. We have no concept anymore. Black people chasing everything white. Everything that they've got out there, we think now this is a part of us and our existence. They put a black man in a soap opera, so we think the soap opera is for us. So some of us can't miss EastEnders.
That's right. Go ahead.
I ain't telling no lies.
Go ahead.
Some of us can't miss Brookside. Some of us can't miss some of these soap operas on the TV, and we're wrapped up in it. Boy, I wonder what happened to see this week. While your life is going to hell, you're sitting in front of a television watching foolishness designed to divert you from reality. And we're thinking, yeah, it's the same for everybody. We're free. It's not the same for everybody. Did you know that Caucasian people don't watch television like you do? Did you know that Caucasian people don't watch films like you do? And by the way, before we go into that, did you know that you and Caucasians are 100% diametrically opposed? You are not the same people. Black people, hear me well. I did not come here to teach you racism. I did not come here to teach you no foolishness. I came to talk to you about that which if you don't know, you will be deceived continuously and you will be destroyed and you won't even know, why am I being destroyed? The Caucasian and the black man, you are diametrically opposed. You are not family. Those of you who have got a white parent, don't worry about that. The black blood is dominant. And if you doubt me, go and ask the National Front and they will chase your backside back into the black community. I don't mean to be funny. All praises are due to Allah. But you know what I mean. You find 32 spectrums of color in black. Some of our people are very light skinned, some of our people are very black. Makes no difference, you're black. And we accept all our black people. We know that among us we got some fools with really dark skin who will be cussing off the light skinned ones. And we know that we got some other fools with light skin who will be cussing off the black ones. But ignore the fools. And let's focus on those of us who recognize ourselves as family. Because that's what we are. And believe it or not, we are all we've got. Ain't nobody else out there. See, by the way, I must do this. You know, I'm representing somebody tonight. And this is our minister, Brother Minister Michael Muhammad, sitting here with his beautiful wife, Sister Jennifer Muhammad. Can we give him a round of applause? Because without Brother Michael, you would not be hearing from Brother Leo. Praise be to Allah. Without our brother, you wouldn't be hearing from me. When I heard the Honourable Louis Farrakhan, I went back into the water. But then I needed a lead fish to steer me, that I didn't swim into the wrong place where the sharks were and become food. And believe it or not, this is my brother here. This is a brother that's been guiding the nation of Islam in this country for the last 14 years. And we have not suffered so much, really, as a bloody nose. And what that demonstrates is that we've got good guidance and good leadership here, that we're here today. Praise be to Allah. Beloved brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to get across, and I hope I'm not being too disjointed with this, I'm really trying to get across to you a sense of where we are and how we come to be here. The man that brought us here did not have good intentions. His intentions have not changed. That's why the other day I was listening to the radio and I heard Bernie Grant. And I know many of us don't like Bernie, we criticize him or whatever, but I will say to you that Bernie Grant, despite any negativity that he may have and what he suffered from or whatever Bernie Grant really is, on the basis of what I heard on the radio the other day, I would implore us to honor Bernie Grant, honor him. You know, sometimes that some of our leaders, some of the people who stand up for us, they're not all right. They're not all right. I mean, I'm not no perfect man, believe me. You know, if you could be a fly on the wall in my house sometimes and see the foolishness I'm doing, because I'm not here to represent myself as no perfect person. I'm far from that. I'm a man like any of you, got faults and foolishness, and sometimes I get down as well and whatever, you know. But I'm trying to explain that with Bernie Grant, I was listening to the radio and it was Prime Minister's question time. And beloved, the white people, you know, Tony Blair was skinning William Hague alive, because Hague just keeps stumbling from one foolish incident into the next one. The latest thing was with Archer the liar, the arch deceiver. That's another story. But they were skinning each other alive. They were beating each other in the House of Commons, and I'm just listening to this thing, and just because I like to listen to what those people deal with, because it's very important, and sometimes you will find that it pertains to us. But if you don't listen to them, you don't know what's going on with you. And then all of a sudden, I heard the Honourable Bernie Grant, and Bernie stood up. And Bernie said, words to the effect, I'm not going to quote verbatim, I'm going to paraphrase. But Bernie said words to this effect: would the right honourable gentleman, the Prime Minister, acknowledge the tremendous contribution made by black people to this nation over 400 years of suffering? Will the Prime Minister take this opportunity now to give an unequivocal apology to the black people, both past and present, for the pain meted out to black people? And will the Prime Minister acknowledge that there should be reparations to black people? And will the Prime Minister, and I'm saying, man, let me tell you something, you know, normally when they start talking in the House of Commons, you hear all of the opposition, sit down, the place was quiet. You couldn't hear a pin drop. It was like one of you had got in there. One of us had got in there. It was like that. This wasn't no MP asking no question. It was like a brother or a sister from the street had gone in there and had confronted Tony Blair with a knife. It was on that kind of level where they're all holding their breaths. And beloved, this question was so awesome. And then you heard it, sister? And then Bernie sat down. And Tony Blair, there's only one politician on the planet more slick than Tony Blair. There's only one politician on the planet that can outlie Tony Blair. And that's Slick Willie Clinton. Now he's the baddest. That's a man who says, while I'm having intercourse with a woman, I never really had intercourse with her. She done it to me. I smoked weed, but I didn't inhale. Now after you finish figuring out that one, you come back to me. But Tony Blair, him can lie. And you see, I want you to understand something. See, because when I say it, you think, well, boy, Leo, that's a bit strong, man. You shouldn't really talk like that. After all, that's our Prime Minister. Look, beloved, you need to listen to William Hague sometimes. And listen to what William Hague calls Tony Blair. Then you need to listen to Tony Blair and what he calls William Hague. And every day, in front of the whole world's media, they accuse one another of the most heinous crimes and lying. So you're there thinking these people are all honourable. No, they're telling you what they're all about. Will the right honourable gentleman now tell the country the truth? But we don't understand what we're listening to. These are liars playing with people's lives. But after the question was asked, man, Tony Blair got on his feet. And I never heard a man fruffle. You know when you start fruffle? You know when you put on the spot as a black man, you start it didn't make no sense. And of course we do recognize that the black people have suffered, and of course him now apologize nothing. See, look, if you did something to somebody and somebody come to you and it's proved, it's all written down, the evidence is there, whatever, and they said to you, you did this and whatever, would you apologize? You're going to apologize. As a black person, you say, look, man, boy, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I did that, and I really hope you can accept my apology. White people ain't apologizing, beloved. You know how many years they've had to apologize? They're not going to apologize. And even if the word was to slip out of their mouth, they would clarify that with another word immediately. They would counter that by letting you know that the apology is on the basis of a criteria being fulfilled on the morrow. And when them done with that, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah. Ain't gonna be no straightforward. We are sorry. We will make amends for what we've done. They ain't gonna say that. And the reason they won't say that is because they have no intention of doing that. And they are not sorry. Beloved brothers and sisters, the ultimate challenge, and the black nation survive. We are here today because of the strength of our ancestors. The brothers and sisters who were captured in slavery, did you know that there was a brother and a sister on the slave ship that looked just like you? Yeah, man. And do you know that while they suffered and went through the most terrible pain that you and I can't even imagine today, do you know that they prayed for a day like this? They prayed, man. They prayed. They said, God, give us freedom. And do you know that the freedom has been delivered up to you, to me? And do you know that we would commit the greatest sin against the memory of our ancestors if you and I didn't now get up and take freedom? And freedom is not something that is to be written out on a piece of paper, legislated. Freedom is something you take. Freedom is something you exercise. Freedom is something you demonstrate. We never asked the white man permission to have this meeting tonight. We never asked the white man permission to set up the Nation of Islam in this country. We never asked the white man permission to teach our own children. We never asked the white man permission to wear our uniform. That's what we're doing, but that's what we've all got to do. The ultimate challenge. This is the greatest challenge facing us today. And I say, beloved brothers and sisters, the Nation of Islam, we can't do it by ourselves. The Rastafarians and those who are conscious in Rastafari, they can't do it by themselves. The Hebrew Israelites, they can't do it by themselves. All of the conscientious black people who are out there, we've got some serious sisters. Sisters who go from one powerful meeting to another, Pan-Africanist, national. They're moving around, they're looking for something, they're trying to get together, but black people keep letting us down. But we got to stop that. And we have to recognize now that we're here by a quirk of nature, by a quirk and accident of nature. We were not meant to be here, especially in this forum. The only way we're supposed to be here is if we're all out there, we've got white partners who don't love us. See, you see, some of you got white partners and you didn't bring her tonight. Because you knew that Leo was going to be here. You know that the whole room would be looking at her. You know, on the basis that as soon as you mention anything like that, then you'd all be focused on her. Wonder what she's thinking. That's why we don't have them in our meetings. If you'd have brought him here tonight, because maybe one of you got one. There's always one. You'd see black people so uncomfortable. Jesus Christ. Leo, don't talk like that. Keep it down. It's so sad and pathetic. Caucasian people don't get uncomfortable talking all the madness that they talk about us, that they've been doing for the last 400 years. No, they don't. They just teach whatever they want to teach about black people. Do you know that they used to have intellectual debates about us as to the size of our brain? Do you know that they concluded in their scientific magazines and articles that the black man's brain was small? Do you know that they concluded that we were the sons and daughters of Ham? And that we were condemned to be hewers of wood and drawers of water all the days of our life in order to justify slavery, using scripture, using the Bible? Do you know, beloved brothers and sisters, that they said that you and I, we came from a lower form of humanity, that we are the people who are really the missing link between the apes and the human beings? Do you know that they said that they found us in Africa with a bone in our nose swinging through the trees? Do you realize, beloved brothers and sisters, did any of you see the latest program that they made about Lagos Airport? Do you know that a black man made that? And a black man made it with white people's money to put the spotlight on black people in Nigeria to make us look like a bunch of savages? It's not to say that things like that don't go on, but you don't want to be as a black man put in that. See, white people don't expose themselves like that. If you knew the stuff that goes on at Heathrow Airport, if you knew the stuff that goes on at Gatwick, if you knew the near misses, if you knew the amount of luggage that goes missing, if you knew the amount of theft that takes place in that place, if you knew the amount of corruption and crime, and why these men are now walking around there with submachine guns, but they want to focus on little Nigeria, which is only 39 years old. 39 years after independence. England, which has an unbroken run of 2,000 years of history. But they want to now compare us, putting the spotlight on Nigeria. They made a documentary where they looked at something like over 2,000 rapes, in gang rapes. And in the 2,000 gang rapes, there were 14 gang rapes involving black children, black youth. They made a whole documentary about the 14 rapes. Out of 2,000, 14 involving black youth, they made a documentary about that. And in some big debate, and then they got foolish dark as how, Dark Man Ho, to come on the TV and say, well, is that thing we've been doing for many years. We're battery woman from long time. Because they're paying him money. See, we see black people on the TV and they think they're all for us. Because they come on the basis that, well, this is a radical black man. Radical my foot. No, beloved. They're really mocking us. Richard Blackwood. Some black people are excited. Yeah, we have a black show. Really? How is it yours? All this nasty cussing on the television. The little brother's he's handsome, he's got potential, he's got talent. Why not use the talent in an uplifting way? But you're frightened to let your children watch that because it's pure crap. And the Caucasian knows what he is doing. The Real McCoy was a program that was uplifting black people. Had a lot of positivity in it. Not only were you laughing, but you're nodding your head saying, that's true, you know. But they took that off at the height of its popularity. Where black Black people never tape no programs. But the real McCoy, they taped. They say to their friend, tape it. Because the thing was authentic. When you heard the accents, real Jamaican accent that. Real Bajan that. You knew that the thing had an authentic feel about it. But they took it off. And then they gave you A-Force and some other foolishness. Back to the crap. Back to the slackness. Back to the nastiness. Back to the low down stuff. Because that's what black people are all about. And you're being conditioned to believe that's what you are all about. They put it on late at night because them stay up late. We got no work to go to. That's the opinion. That's the view. That's the stereotype that they're pushing. And then we like fools stay up and watch it. Go to your bed. Because after you've watched it, it's like you just ate a piece of cardboard. No substance. You said to yourself, wait, when we did watch? What was it all about? We are left feeling that there is no substance there. It's like when you go to the dance. Now, come on, talk back to me, black people. You know, you find yourself in the dance sometimes. And the music is pumping, but you're there, you just... You see black people in the dance and we are vexed. I mean, we're angry, we're serious because we're not there, we're not being entertained, we're just passing some time.